we have Nisary Mahesh, the founder of HerMoneyTalks, a platform for women's financial empowerment through financial inclusion and upskilling. HerMoneyTalk works pan-India to bridge the gap in financial literacy for women and promotes women's entrepreneurship. As of right now, they have a robust community of over 50,000 women, and they hope to reach out to over 3 lakh women by 2023. That's amazing, Nisary. You work in the space of financial inclusion. And we all know that access to finance is one of the biggest stumbling blocks that women entrepreneurs face. What can be done to address this issue?
Basically, entrepreneurship is seen as something risky in our society. When it comes to men, no, you don't get that cushioning of monthly paycheck. That convenience is absent in entrepreneurship. When it comes to women, we always try to think you need the financial cushioning and you need the comfort zone to work according to flexible working hours because you need to take care of your family as well. So women come from this background of being taught or the conditioning of not taking risk. That is the first thing, or take lesser risk. And second is that you always have that feeling I need to balance between my family and my business. So when you come from this kind of background, all this conditioning, all this societal conditioning, what happens is that when you go out and start your own business, there is a hesitation in our minds to take a risk, like especially when it comes to finances. Business, of course, we all know that it requires initial capital investment. And as we go ahead also, we have to take many decisions, especially when it comes to finance. Many women are privileged that they are getting the support of their families, like their parents or their husbands or even their siblings or good friends help them with this initial financial cushioning. Or maybe women in their late 40s or mid-career, when they venture out for entrepreneurship, they have their own financial cushioning. Like they have some savings of their own, which they are using to start their own startups or their business. Coming from this comfort zone, when we talk about numbers, that confidence level is missing a little bit there. So I come from a banking background. I've been working with the credit of some couple of banks. So what I see there is that women are really good with their products, their services, and they are excellent in customer service. But what happens is that when you come with your numbers, when you talk about your financial projections, somehow they don't showcase their confidence. From a bank's perspective, they definitely want to see that they are not risky by putting their money into your business. So they ask all these kind of questions like your financial projections, how are you going to achieve this, what is your risk appetite? When all these things comes, definitely I feel, even though women are really great, they can really do, many women I have seen, but when it comes to numbers, they prefer to give it to their co-founders or they don't showcase their confidence level. So that's one thing which contributing to the less access to finance for many women. Now I've been working in the startup field, like mentoring a lot of women and holding them to get funding. There also we are seeing the similar thing, like when it comes to the numbers, they leave the thing to the male co-founders who come and present it to the investor. So I guess one thing which we can do is that a lot of confidence building for women, especially that financial literacy, like Tanya mentioned, where they can talk confidently about their numbers, and a lot of things like when it comes to startups, like when their business plan projections, scale-up projections, valuation, funding, these kind of things. If you get that support ecosystem where women can learn a lot of things, they can understand, they can talk confidently, they get that network or that group where they can confidently talk about numbers in their peer groups. I think that can make a lot of difference to access of finance. And secondly, there are a lot of changes happening in the entrepreneur system. Like there are a lot of funds which are focused for women only, both private VC funds and even from the government and for even banks also. One thing what I felt is that these funds are not getting enough visibilities. So it's like even the government department, different departments have different schemes for women, but it's all scattered. So the MSME department have one scheme, the IT department will have another scheme, the Startup India will have a lot of schemes. So these are not in one platform, these are scattered in different platforms and the lack of awareness is there a lot. So what I would suggest is that women can be part of a lot of ecosystem, a lot of network and peer groups where they interact with other women entrepreneurs and ecosystem players, especially Wadhwani Foundation and all, who can give that information, who can create that awareness about the existing schemes and programs for women. Right now, what is happening is that on one side, there is a huge demand, and on the other side, there is a supply, but these two are not meeting. A lot of blocks are coming in between, like whether it is supply is there, but the demand is not reaching that level. Actually, women are struggling to scale their startups because there's no enough ecosystem for that access to capital. But somehow they are not reaching out, and these plans or schemes are also not reaching to the right audience. So if you're able to bridge this gap between women and finance, I think we can do a lot of difference in the ecosystem.